Good morning. I'm going to take a quick video for my niece Amanda, who's in Jamaica, who can't see my garden, and for my mama in Tennessee, who can't make it up here either. Got some flowers up here by the house. This is where we get most of our cut flowers. We've got a lot of herbs in here too. Spearmint, peppermint, oregano, sage. And Mama, here's one of the hibiscus plants you gave me. Poor little stick. I don't know if it's going to make it or not, but it looks pretty. Dorothy actually does most of the flowers. Greg's Aunt Mary in New York sends her a little check every year, which is very nice, and she gets a lot of her flowers with it. And then sometimes she'll give me part of it to get some of the vegetables for the garden. There's my hybrid hibiscus this year. It's looking really pretty. All these periwinkles came up voluntary with my tea roses. And then this is a hummingbird plant. It's just now starting to bloom a little bit. And then back here's all my moonflowers. I'd given my mama some seed, and she planted hers and gave me some seed back, so that's nice. Then back here we have the potting shed. It used to be the chicken coop, but I got tired of taking care of them chickens, so we painted it red, and I painted a little side on it. And Greg put me a new floor in, and I used the chicken cubbies to hold all my supplies. It's got all my fertilizers and seeds and things like that in there. Then over here we've got berries. This is kind of a fruit. Oh, I don't know what you'd call it. A fruit thing. All the blackberries. These are tame blackberries. They're just now starting to come in. And it rained this morning, thank goodness. So they got a little drink because they were really drying up. Down here we've got a lot of blueberries. Birds almost ate all them up before I got them covered, but we're going to get some. They look kind of nice. And then we got lots of grapes back here. Raspberries. We're done with the raspberries this year, so those are all coming up for next year. Lots more blueberries and grapes. And now we will head to the garden. I planted some canna lilies in the garden this year, so I don't know if they'll bloom or not. Then over here we have Maribel spinach. It'll grow completely up this trellis. And it is a summer spinach. You can eat it, you can stir fry it, you can eat it raw. It tastes kind of citrusy, but it's really good. Then I've got some raised beds this year. I'm moving all my herbs from the yard to these beds. So I've moved most of the ones that I'm going to move. My basil's looking pretty. And then this is beets. I love beets. And this whole thing should be full of them, but they just were very sporadic this year. So I planted a new bed of beets the other day, and let's see if it comes up. This is leeks and onions. Then we have a big row of okra. Then down there, since it just rained, I'm not going to walk through the garden. We got sweet potatoes with the deer keep eating the tops off of them. Way down on the end is some kind of bean. I think they eat the tops off them too. You'll see a lot of marigolds. That's supposed to keep deer out of the garden, but a lot of good that's doing. Then we got lots of peppers. I've got jalapeno, poblano, chili, cayenne pepper, bell pepper, banana pepper. Then over here's squash, spaghetti squash, zucchini. I got some yellow squash and some white squash. Way down on the end is cabbage. This is asparagus. I just think that's a beautiful plant. Looks like green lace. Then this was the compost pile, or is the compost pile. And all this cantaloupe came up voluntary, and so did that squash and those tomatoes. Then there's my cucumbers. I keep them in cages. I don't like my cucumbers to be on the ground. More blueberries over here. Then we got our sticky blackberries. They're coming in nice too. They're getting nice and ripe. Come back over here and let you see. I think I've got some little squash that are about ready to pick. I'm hoping in about a day or so. I haven't harvested anything yet because I was so late planting. There's some more onions over here, and right beside that is my new beet pile. We'll see how that comes out. It rained and rained and rained, and I couldn't plant. I just planted about a month ago. And then all of a sudden, it quit raining. This is radishes. That's little carrots coming through. And then we'll go around here to the other side. This is green beans. I've got 2 rows of green beans, 1 row of lima beans, a couple of eggplants. And this is potatoes. I put them in a cage this year. I don't know if they're going to make it or not, but I mean, they'll make it, but I don't think I put enough dirt in there, so we'll see how big they get. I've got lots of tomatoes, and this is 2 new rows of strawberries. We got several off this year, but next year there should be a lot. Lots of tomatoes. There's about 8 or 10 kinds in here. I've got big tomatoes that are red and yellow. I've got cherry tomatoes that are sugar babies, chocolate cherry. That's new for this year, and that's the old strawberry patch. And as these others get bigger, we'll just take them out. Then Mama, here is the clematis that you gave me. It's going up the string pretty good. I'm sure once it's done, it'll cover up this whole area. These are my old herb beds. They're coming out. This is winter onions. I'll plant the tops in the fall for spring eating. I've already harvested all my garlic, so that's just a mess. Over here's my old herb bed. I'm going to leave the dill until I get my pickles made, but I'll harvest the rest of this in the next week or so and then clean this up. And then Mama, last, this is the wisteria that you gave me. And it's getting bigger and bigger, and Greg made me a trellis, and I like to put pretty buckets on the end. And that's about it. I love you guys. Mandy, Skype me when you can, and Mama, I'll talk to you soon.